December 10th, 2021. Day trading recap. I had a good day. I traded uh, the ES and NQ as I normally do. Actually, it wasn't the NQ, it was the MNQ and the MES. I actually wanted to take trades on the ES and also on the NQ, but today was a very different day in how I traded. Um, I was very, very measured in everything that I did, and some things I did today, which I saw, I considered taking them, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna be a bit more measured. Let's put it that way, because I really want to. My goal today, if anything, was to try and make sure that uh, we didn't rush into anything, we didn't force anything, and we just went with the flow as things were going. So there were opportunities that I saw that I missed, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I just thought, okay, let's just watch it and let's just see how it plays on. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the NQ and the ES together, and what I'm going to show is how what I was in my intentions and things like that, what I was planning on trading. So I drew these areas of supply, you can call it that, and the only reason why I did that was because this morning when I woke up, I saw how we were rallying strongly, just based on, if you look at the way we traded yesterday, we formed a parabolic wedge, and then we had a double bottom over here. Whenever you have this sort of thing, it's a very good recipe for reversal. I actually noticed as well this channel as well presented itself pretty much the same sort of thing over here. So this morning we saw that, and then I saw this big massive candle. In fact, when I woke up around here, this had not yet formed, and then later on as I was getting ready, sort of having breakfast and everything, this candle just appeared. Now this candle is the biggest candle in this entire trend, and that usually attracts a lot of profit taking because it's a buy climax. As you can see, it's at the supply region if you are a supply and demand trader. So I was expecting a short at the open, but I traded today as if I did not have this information, or if anything I did, but I didn't want to use it. Many a times I've taken trades so quickly, willy-nilly, and messed it up, and decided to just take time and just follow the market as price was presenting itself and doing what it wanted to do. All right, so if we then now go back to that clean chart, no, wrong one, go to this one, and you can see the same thing happened over here. Buy climax, double top, and all that. But so the thing that was of interest to me, at least from the ES, the perspective of the ES, was that we had a high over here, which we had pretty much, the Globex double top, so supply region came from. And you can almost argue that you have, I mean, we had this wedge here, but you could almost argue that this wedge itself had carried on here. But I wouldn't even do that because at the end of the day, this is a bit different. But sometimes I do that and it does work. All right, so we have a double top with this area here, right? A lower high, or based on the Globex, we had a double top here with that. But like I said, I was trying to trade the chart the way Al would trade it. At least I was in his trading room again today. I mean, you could also say it's a challenge of this high, or there's this thing going on over here. So I thought, okay, do you know what? We have two bars, one very big bar. This one is a good bar with a tail at the top, so probably not a good buy. A good buy for a trading a trend from the open. Also, we have a big massive gap up from yesterday's close, and the moving average is somewhere in the middle. And Al made a very good point that traders would wait to see what happens when the price gets to the moving average. So they try and make a decision here about what they want to do or where they want to go. So you will find that price would sort of come down to the moving average. Bulls will not be as interested in buying, and then you see a sort of pattern or a wedge that will kind of either form a trend in one direction or trend in the other direction. So I was just watching this. I remember seeing this and I said, this would probably be a good short. Probably just, YOLO this, put a limit order over here and just short it, very tight risk at the top. And then just take it short to the moving average. That was, a play. I mean, after all, we went up big. So I thought if we come down, at least we can scalp this range that we have here. And that was one thing I did consider. I did consider scalping it. But the thing again is you just have to be so quick and just enter quickly, and then maybe just put your stop really tight over there and then just see what happens, and maybe get out over here somewhere because that's probably what's going to happen. So this bar printed, and then this bar started to print, and I thought, okay, fine, looks like we are going to the moving average, and this is probably again as a result of that double top from 2 days ago. We had this pullback here, but it was actually a pause. I looked at the pause. I mean, Al kind of saw it as a wedge. I mean, you could argue a wedge because you had this retracement, but I looked at it this way. This was the first low, second low, and then eventually this was probably the third low. But eventually, actually, what happened was you had 1, 2, 3. So this itself was the wedge, because this was the wedge, and then you had another wedge, another wedge. But anyway, doesn't matter. So I charted that. I actually had this line extended here on my NinjaTrader chart. So if we just take this all the way down here, this is what I had. Then I saw this bar print and I thought, okay, great. So we had another low here. I was like, okay, this is looking good. We're testing the moving average. Then another bull bar came up, came back down. Did not take this high out. So I said, okay, this is not another high. And then what happened? Yeah, then we now had this bull bar come up again, right? So you can imagine this is the first, second, no, this is the first, no, actually, let's actually count this properly. First, second, and third, right? This went up. Then the moment I saw this took this high out, I just counted 3 highs up. I actually went short here. Didn't actually wait for this bar. I saw this bar start to race down. The moment it went below this bar, I just went short around here. Took a certain number, entered 2 different lots, and took it down to the moving average. My first target, or I at least took half my position off around here. This bar went to around here, and I kind of moved my stop to this point over here. I'm not even sure why I did that, but I did. And I thought I could follow it down, and I got stopped out. We had an inside bar here, a triangle, and then a breakout again. And I thought, okay, this would have been a really good short. Pull back to the moving average, and then we now had this pull down, and this kind of made the final leg down. So if you think about it, you have 1 pullback, 2 pullback, 3, right? So this is the wedge. All right, so now we're testing yesterday's low. Although we had a Globex low which was below, and there's something I need to think about in that regard. So I was saying that we're either going to either hit the Globex high. He didn't think we would hit the Globex high because bar 18 was over here. So the chances are this was the high of the day, and we hadn't yet seen the low of the day at that point. So anyway, we came down here. I actually went long here at first. It pulled down a bit. I was thinking maybe Al is correct. Maybe I have gone in too early. This hadn't yet closed. I should have just waited. So I now entered another in position here. When it came back to my entry, I got out for next to break even. I wasn't really happy with that. And then I noticed we now printed this bar. I was stalling for a bit, and it went even higher. And I thought, oh, it looks like So I thought, okay, I would love to wait for an MTR. An MTR already happened. This itself was probably the MTR, or this was the MTR, major trend reversal. As you can see, based on the Globex, this is actually a higher low because the Globex low is actually around here, so we never actually got to it. This was the reversal. We had a bull trend, really strong consistent buying. So Al said this is actually better than this. Here you have two strong bear bars, but this is consistent buying. So this is like a strong trend or stronger trend than this over here. This is a climax. So what ended up happening was you now kind of expected this to be a double, this is the neckline of a double top, probably go down here, but that didn't happen. It was a failed double top, and therefore we're going for a measured move. And that's another thing I learned today from Al. Obviously when you have a failure like that, you have a new measured move target, which obviously was here. So this broke out strongly, really strongly. I jumped in very late as this just broke, entered quite a lot of contracts, and at this point I decided I had to go because 12 o'clock I had to leave. So here you have a really nice high, and then a nice wedge here. So you can argue this is 1, 2, 3. So one high, so 1 pullback, 2 pullback, 3, and yeah. So you would probably say, I would probably say in his own definition 1, 2, 3, or I would probably go this is my wedge, or even this 3 is my wedge. But point being that you're in a tight range. You could scalp this range if you wanted, buying here, selling here, or selling here, buying here. Reasonable to go long on top of this bar, and then for another leg up. So 1, this is a pullback, yeah, pullback, 2, pullback, 3, okay, and then this is, so this, you start the count again. 1 pullback, this is not high, this is a high, but it's actually, maybe I have miscounted. I'll have to go look. Here's another double top here, and then you now have another wedge bottom here. That is the way I like to measure my wedges. And then you now had another race up high, 3 new higher lows. This is a really nice big massive buy climax, as you can see, just relentless buying. So most likely going to reverse from this point. 1, 2, 3, so another wedge. Yeah, I also took a trade on the MNQ today, and I think I took it. At this point, I was almost done. I took it short. I believe I took was it short? Yeah, I caught this drop. So essentially what happened was I noticed that we were stalling here, which was this range, and I thought, we probably still have some to go here. It looked like this was the range we were in. The moment this did not break this, and I remembered watching the ES, we had this triangle here, and I was like, okay, we're probably going down. I think I took a short over here, caught it, and got out really quickly. I think that's what I did. No, this is the one I did. I caught this. Now, why did I catch this? Because I felt we were probably going to test this low. Caught this short, came here, but I kept on getting stopped out because my stop was not set right. I was using the wrong order. So I spent money on contracts I didn't need. I didn't use, rather. And then just kind of watch it. I really wanted to trade the MNQ, but I was so focused on the ES, the MES today, because I really just wanted to just focus on the ES mainly. And I'm very glad I did do that. I'm also, like I said, very happy with the way I traded today. I wasn't. There were lots of opportunities, lots of FOMO. I love ranges because you get to see all sorts of things happening. Also had time to really assess what was going on over here. I remember we had a triangle form here, and I said, okay, here we got a triangle breakout mode. I spotted that. Nice small tight range at the moving average. A few scalps you could have taken over here. Nice wedge top here. That was something that I saw whilst we were trading. It was great, just kind of really seeing all these setups throughout the entire day. You can even argue another wedge up here. As you're just sort of working it through, you're seeing all the wedges forming, and sort of being able to find scalps. All right, so today was, again, like I said, a really good day. I liked the way we traded. Managed our risk pretty well, except from when we took that trade long here, and wasn't really happy with the fact that I entered with a bit too much, so exited because I wasn't sure whether we're going to go a bit lower. And I think there's even a bigger measured move target. Maybe this itself is the other. Whoops. There's probably a measure and move target here, maybe filled wedge from here, from down here to, no, it's not there. All right, doesn't matter. All right, guys, have a good weekend.